Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Logan if this is your first time here. On this channel we talk about all things crochet, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 free Instagram patterns. April from the Cozy Buckeye has challenged me to do the Share the Love IG challenge. This is from her and Stacy. So I will have it popped up here on the screen. It is find 5 free Instagram crochet patterns you've never tried before. I decided to do 10, and you have to follow and tag the designers. Make, feature, and share them on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever social media platform you use. Challenge a friend and tag at the Cozy Buckeye and at @appletree_Stacy Makes on Instagram so that they can see and share them as well. And then use the hashtag Share the Love IG challenge. So like I said, I've decided to do 10 patterns. I thought it would be really fun. So I have some that I have saved that I have never made, and then some that I was just searching, and some that have popped up and I have just saved them. So I'm going to start out with pattern number 1, and I thought it would be perfect to try out one of April's patterns because she was the one who tagged me. So this is Felipe the frog. I used Elise Veludo yarn for this, and I believe I used 14mm eyes, and this is a really fast pattern. It is only 9 rounds. I really love how she did these back stitches to really look like frog legs from behind when it sits. I think this is a perfect pattern. I think I actually enjoy this one maybe a little bit more than the pocket frog. It's also just a little bit different. I really like the back legs. It was really fast for me to work up. I would say maybe 10-12 minutes for me, and that was just me reading the pattern for the first time. But I also really love the stitches she did on the mouth to give it a little bit more of like the frog mouth over here. Really enjoyed this pattern. I am definitely going to be making more of these for my little market makes and put it just in a little bin. Probably sell it for $5 or $6. I'm not really sure how much I'm gonna charge for this, but it will be pretty inexpensive, and it's also pretty small with Elise Veludo. Fits in the palm of my hand. But yeah, I really enjoyed this pattern. So this is pattern number 1, Felipe the frog from the Cozy Buckeye. Pattern number 2 is another one of my friend's patterns. This is the No So Chubby Fish from Nooks Hooks. I always love Nooks Hooks patterns, and she came out with this free Instagram pattern. She also has a tutorial on her YouTube as well. So if you like to watch tutorials better, or if you're just learning out how to crochet, a tutorial is perfect. That is how I learned, was watching tutorials. So I decided to do little blue colors. I thought that that would be really cute. You do have to surface crochet this on, and then I believe everything else is worked in the round, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure these are worked at the end, but I think you just have to surface crochet on the top, and you start from the front and work your way back. So I can see this with a whole bunch of different colors. You can also mix and match, but I think this looks really good with the monochrome colors. You can do like a lighter yellow and a darker yellow, a lighter green and a darker green. You can have a whole rainbow array of them for a display at your market. I think that would be really adorable. I really love how this one worked up. It took me maybe 10-15 minutes, and that was me of course reading it for the first time and doing it for the first time as well. So very quick and easy pattern. So this is pattern number 2, Chubby Fish from Nooks Hooks. Pattern number 3 is the Hot Cocoa pattern from Caliascrochetcorner. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. I'll have it popped up here on the screen. This is a low sew pattern. You only have to sew on the marshmallows, and then the handle here is surface crocheted on. I thought it would be really adorable to do a light pink mug with the hot chocolate and also the little marshmallows. I ended up using the color marshmallow from Parfait Chunky, and it's actually a pretty nice size. It's nice and small with Parfait Chunky yarn. I believe the designer used Bernat blanket for this, so it ended up being a little bit bigger, but I thought this was really cute in Parfait Chunky, and I think it turned out really nice. It is a really easy pattern to work up. The only thing is it takes a little bit to sew on these little pieces of the marshmallows. Actually, in the pattern, I believe you can do 6 of them, but I just decided to do 4, even though I like a lot of marshmallows in my hot cocoa, but I just decided to do the 4. And then I also did some embroidery on the eyes. I did little eyelashes, and then I also did a little bit of white around the eyes. I'm not sure if you're able to see that on camera or not. And then just a little smile. I thought this was really adorable. Love how this one turned out. So this is pattern number 3, hot cocoa, from Caliascrochetcorner. Pattern number 4 I feel like is really cute with the hot cocoa pattern. This is from Onecuriousdonut, and it is the Toasty bread. Look at how adorable this is. Look at how cute they are together. Imagine this sitting on your desk. That is so cute. So this is the Toasty bread pattern. It is kind of Jellycat inspired with the little legs. You do have to make the front part of the bread and then the back part, and then you are slip stitching them together. And you don't have to add the legs if you don't want to. There's an option for a little piece of butter, which I thought about doing, but I decided to leave it plain. I used Parfait Chunky for this as well, and I think this is so adorable. I just imagine these two sitting together. I think it's adorable. They're about the same size, so I think that would be really cute on a little display. But this was really easy. I didn't have any issues. Just really make sure to pay attention when you are doing the stitches to make this part, like the top of the bread. You really have to pay attention to make sure you're getting all the stitches correct to get this bread shape. But other than that, it was a really easy pattern. You do have to sew the legs on, which is very easy, not hard at all, just a few little stitches, and I put them really close together. That's what it says in the pattern, and then it just sits perfectly. Look at how adorable this is. I think that this would be really cute at a market. Again, selling these like together as a little bundle would be very cute. But yeah, so here is pattern number 4, Toasty bread from Onecuriousdonut. Pattern number 5 is from Wooleytunes. This is the upside down monster charm. This is a low sew pattern. I used Elise Voluto for this, so I think it is pretty big. I think if you want it smaller for like a keychain, I would use Parfait Chunky or something smaller or around that, but I used Elise Voluto because I really love this color for the Demogorgons, because I think this is like the closest thing that the Demogorgons look like. I have used like a lighter gray and more of a tan color, but I really do think that this color is perfect for the Demogorgons. But I wanted this more of like a bag charm, so it is a little bit bigger. You do have to make each piece individually, so it is a little bit to work up. You have to make all of the red pieces, all of the brown pieces, and then you single crochet all the way around. Then you make the black piece and then you connect them all together, and then you make this back piece and sew it on. So that's the only thing that you have to sew on is this back piece. But I really love this. I love Stranger Things, so I knew I had to make a free Demogorgon pattern. I will say I do really enjoy the Just a Mom Crocheting Demogorgon, but if you just wanted something something little and a free pattern, I would definitely recommend this pattern. I really like all of the embroidery of the white. That is another thing that you do have to do, is all of the little embroidery for the teeth. And then yeah, I just put on like a little keychain for a little back charm. So that is pattern number 5, upside down monster charm from Wooleytunes. Pattern number 6 is from Blossommooncrafts. This is the low sew string of pearls hanger. I decided not to do the hanger. I just did the little arms and legs on the pot, and it just sits perfectly. I was more so thinking to have on your desk as a little desk plant. Maybe you don't have much sunlight on your desk, or maybe you can't keep plants alive. I think that this is perfect. I do have a string of pearls. I love my plants. I do have my string of pearls in a hanging pot, and I do really love the look of it. So I think that this would be really cute with the hanger on it, but she gives you the option of doing the hanger or not. So I decided just to have it as like a little desk buddy. You didn't have to sew anything on with this. I believe that is with the hanger is where you have to do some sewing, but for this you didn't have to do any sewing. It does take a little bit of time because all of these are bobble stitches, so as you go through they're all different lengths. So you have some really long, some pretty short, like this one's pretty short compared to this one, but I really enjoyed this pattern. I do really enjoy crocheting plants. I know they take up a little bit of time doing the pot and the dirt and all of the leaves and stuff, but I do really enjoy how this one turned out. I also did a little bit of embroidery around the eyes. I thought that looked really cute. I haven't made anything from Blossommooncrafts, but they have a lot of free patterns on their Instagram, and I do have some patterns saved from them on my Etsy. I just haven't purchased them yet, so I wanted to try this pattern out just to see how they write patterns, see if I like the style, and I do really enjoy this. So I think I'm going to try out some more patterns from them. But this one didn't really take me too much time. The only part that took me the longest is the bobble stitches, but they work up pretty quickly once you get the hang of it and you keep going. They actually don't take too long. That's just probably like the longest thing, but if I were to make this again it would take me a lot faster. But here is pattern number 6, the string of pearls hanger from Blossommooncrafts. Pattern number 7 is a fairly new pattern on Instagram. It was posted on January 13th, and as I'm filming this it is January 25th, so it is about 2 weeks old, not quite. It is from Almgurumi, I believe is how you pronounce it. I will have it popped up here on the screen. This is Sunny the baby chick, and I believe this is the pattern designer's first pattern, which is very exciting. But here she is. I loved the name. I love the name Sunny. My Instagram name is Sunny Days Crochet, so when I saw this I just knew I had to make this. I used Parfait Chunky for this pattern, and I would love to use basic chenille or Elise Veludo just to have a bigger size. I think that would be really cute to use a bigger yarn. It's like a little bit smaller than the size of my hand. But you make the chick and then you make the hat, and then I just used this string to secure the hat on to the head. That is what the pattern designer did. You could sew it on if you wanted to, or you could just leave it so they can take it off or put it back on. The chick would be a really cute pattern on its own as well. I think I want to make some more of these for some spring markets. I think that would be perfect for spring markets. You could do different colors for the flower. You could do a white center or a yellow center with all different colors of petals, but the pattern designer had a sunflower. I'm assuming since the name's Sunny, but I decided to do a sunflower as well. So this worked up really quickly. I think I was able to make it in maybe 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less. And it was really easy. I think the next time I make it, I'll be able to get it down quicker. But I really love this one. I think it is so adorable. Again, I think for spring markets, it will be perfect. So this is pattern number 7, Sunny the Baby Chick from Almgurumi. Pattern number 8 is one of my favorites. This is from Pandie.crochet. It is the free Ghibli sprout pots. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Ghibli or Ghibli. I have not figured that out yet. I see people say it both ways, but I recently watched Spirited Away, which I loved, and I was like, you know what? I have this free crochet pattern, so I want to make it. I decided to make the no face pot. How adorable is this? I am keeping this for myself. I did the no face option, but there is also Totoro and Gigi, I believe, which is like the little cat, and I definitely want to make the Totoro option because that one is adorable. I really love that one. But this one, the only thing you have to sew on is the little face to the pot. The other two are no sew, and I really loved how this pattern was worked up. The sewing for this was really easy. I used Elise Voluto for this, and I was like, wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought, but I believe the pattern designer used Parfait Chunky in the pictures is what it looks like, or something like Parfait Chunky, so they definitely turned out a little bit smaller, but I decided to use Elise Voluto yarn, and then I also did the little embroidery on the face, and I decided to do like a little straight across face. I thought that that was perfect for no face, but I'm definitely keeping this for myself. I'm going to set it on my desk, and I'm gonna get a new desk. I'm gonna switch some things around in my room. So I was like, you know what, this will be perfect for my new desk. But this is pattern number 8, free Ghibli sprout pots from Pandie.crochet. Pattern number 9 is another Studio Ghibli pattern. I have really been enjoying watching those movies, if you can't tell, because I've made 2 of these patterns. But this is from Chanel's_crochet, and this is the Soot pattern. It's a no-sew pattern. Look at how adorable this is. I did use felt for this pattern. I've been using felt here and there. I hand cut all of these, and that took me forever. It's not perfect, but far away it looks perfect to me. So I'm gonna keep this for myself because I hand cut these and it took me a long time. I want to keep it, and it's not perfect. The stars are not perfect, so, which I don't think that that would really matter because I think it does still look really good. I was really concerned when I cut everything out. I was like, oh, this is gonna look terrible. But when I glued them on and when I looked at it as a whole, I was like, you know what, this looks adorable. So like I said, I just cut it out on my own, and then I just use some fabric glue to glue them on. But this is actually pretty big. I used Elise Voluto yarn, so it was a lot bigger. I got about halfway done with the body and I'm like, ooh, this is really big. Should I make this smaller? And then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna keep it for myself, so I'm just gonna continue on. And everything is crocheted in the round. All the legs are crocheted in the round, and they are slip stitched back in, so they kind of have this funny little curl to them, which is what the Soot sprites look like. So I think that was perfect. And then yeah, I just did the little felt on my own. I just cut those out with my scissors, so don't judge me too much on the felt. But I really love this. So I'm going to have these 2 on my new desk together. How adorable will these be together? I think I'm gonna have to make some more Studio Ghibli patterns. I have a lot saved, but this was a really easy pattern to work up. It's pretty much just a ball with legs. And then you do have to do felt for this pattern. I don't think you could get away with not using felt. Maybe you could crochet these, but that would be my only thing, is that you could crochet them, but since I had felt, I decided to use the felt, so maybe you could crochet them. But I really love how this pattern turned out. I'm definitely keeping this for myself, but I do want to make more. However, I think I'll use Parfait Chunky the next time I use them, so they're a little bit smaller. I don't know, but I kind of like how big this pattern is. But yeah, this is pattern number 9 from Chanel's_crochet, and this is the Soot pattern. The last pattern, pattern number 10, is from Momsstitchetti, and I decided to do this pattern because Valentine's Day is coming up, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do this pattern. This is the rose pattern from Momsstitchetti, but I decided to make a little bouquet of them, and I think these turned out so adorable. Just look at this little bouquet. I only did 3 for the sake of this video, but you could do more if you want. These worked up really quickly. The first one I did, I started doing it, I'm like, oh wow, I'm already almost done. And then the next one I did just the stem, and then I started with the red. So I kind of batch make them a little bit, but I wanted to make the first one to see how it worked up. It is no sew, you don't have to do any sewing. The only thing that I did was I chained out with this pink yarn. So I chained out 40, and then I just tied little knots on the bottom so that they would stay, and I just tied them all together like a little bouquet. I think this is such an adorable pattern. She does have a picture at the very end, and she has one of her bear patterns holding the rose, so you could do that as well. You could make a cow, a bear, whatever, and you could have them holding a little rose, which I also think is adorable. But I decided to do this little bouquet because I thought it would look really cute, and I am loving how this turned out. I'm really happy that I did the little bouquet, so they were really quick to work up. I will say the only thing is that the round is pretty small. It is 4 single crochets, so if you don't like single crocheting for a round, you could do 6 if you wanted, but I followed the pattern exactly and I did do 4. It doesn't bother me so much to do 4 in a magic ring, but I know some people don't really enjoy doing 4 single crochets, so that might be one thing that you might want to think of before you make this pattern. But I really love the outcome of it, and I love that I did the little bouquet. I think this is absolutely adorable. So this is pattern number 10, the free rose pattern from Momsstitchetti. One more thing I wanted to talk about. I did a pattern test from April the Cozy Buckeye. This was released on Friday. It is Sunday, the day that I am filming this, and this is Hangry the Hippo. I used Elise Voluto for this. It is a no-sew pattern. I really love how she worked up the ears. It is something different that I have not seen before. I also hand painted these eyes. Nothing too crazy, just some green glitter. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is a no-sew pattern. I really love how she did the ears. I think the tail is adorable. I love hippos. I've loved hippos ever since I was little, so when she posted this I was like, oh, I have to test this pattern for her. I really love the shape of the face. I think this is such an adorable pattern. If you have not checked out any of April's market patterns, I would really recommend them. She has so many. They're really quick to work up. They're all in the loaf style, which I really enjoy. I have made so many of them and they do very well at markets. I think the cow is the one that has sold the most for me, but that is the one that I've had the most of. So I will definitely be making a lot more of these, seeing how each of these sell. Obviously I haven't had a market yet since I have made some of these, especially this one since I just made it. I also have 4 or 5 other pattern tests that I've been working on. I have been very busy this week with these free patterns and then working on pattern tests. So in my next video, you will see 4 different pattern tests that I did. I believe it is 4. So this is Hangry the Market Hippo. I really loved this. It was so easy to work up. I didn't have any issues. She does have a tutorial on the ears now, so if you are having issues with the ears, she does have a tutorial in the pattern for the ears, but I really enjoyed this. I think it is a perfect size pattern and her loafs work up really easy. I would highly recommend them. So I wanted to mention that as well because I did do that pattern test and it is out now. You'll have to let me know which pattern I made was your favorite. Obviously I really enjoyed the Studio Ghibli patterns, but I did really enjoy making all of these, so you'll have to let me know which one was your favorite. I always love making free patterns. There are so many free patterns out there for us to use, and it's really nice that these designers give us these free patterns for us to use. You could use free patterns for everything. You don't even have to buy patterns because there are so many free patterns that are incredible. I don't think I'm going to challenge anyone in particular, but if you are watching this and you have a YouTube channel or an Instagram, then I challenge you to do the Share the Love IG challenge. It is just 5 free Instagram patterns. They can be as big or as small as you would like. I did pretty small patterns for this video since I decided to make 10 of them, but I would love to be tagged if you do this challenge so I can see your makes. I would really love to see some videos on this. I would love to start seeing people do this some more. I did do this previously and I saw a lot of creators do this, so start this challenge up again. It is from April at the Cozy Buckeye and Stacy over at Apple Tree Boutique / Stacy Makes. So I would love to see these videos again. That is going to be everything for today's video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. I would really love to see what people's favorites are. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram, sunnydays_crochet, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone, have a good one.